consistency is probably really key. So, okay, great. Hello and welcome, Jim. It is great to see you this week. And hello, YouTube. For anyone on YouTube, if you would like to leave a comment, I'm going to leave some time at the end of our 50-minute session to where I can respond to comments and answer questions. We actually did have some pretty good engagement last video. Someone was asking about vocal problems they were experiencing with a thyroid issue, and they were losing their voice. So we were able to kind of cover a little bit of that. So if you have questions, go ahead and comment them, and I'll make sure that I leave time for that and at the end of the session. But in the meantime, hello, Jim. Let's see if we can do a quick overview of what we're going to hit today, and then we're going to jump right in. So the terms and the singer distinctions help us know what we're doing with our voice. And then this helps us identify problems in our voice so that we can make the corrections so that we can improve as a singer on a really consistent basis. Speaking of consistently improving, here is our daily vocal routine, and this is going to help us improve our physical voice. It's going to help us sing stronger and higher and lower and more efficiently. So we'll do that in just a moment. After that, we'll probably take just a minute or two to work on our pitch practice, which is, of course, going to improve our intellectual understanding of singing, which is going to be really great to hit the right notes at the right time. So we'll improve your musicianship here, and then lastly, we'll apply it. For anyone watching, our song today is going to be My Way by Frank Sinatra. So I'm really going to enjoy that. I love that song myself. So Jim, let's jump right on through. We'll come back to the singer distinctions and the terms as we go through. But first, I'd love to see if we can jump into a daily vocal routine. Have you already done the daily vocal routine for today?
I did this morning, yes.
Beautiful. In that case, we can jump in to just spot checking. That way we can, if I have any specific feedback, we can see how you've been doing from week to week and things like that. So let's start with a voice buzz low stretch. The whole point of doing our voice buzz stretch here is that we want your chest voice to be able to produce more tone for less volume. We're looking to make your voice more efficient. So let's try making this sound that helps you exercise that part of your voice. Me first, then you. It'll be mum 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 mum. Trying to go super low with complete relaxation and no extra breathiness, but instead we want just tone. Let's try it. Perfect. Perfect. Wow. I'm so thrilled. So what we've seen over the course of 3 weeks of doing this on YouTube Live is that you have consistently removed breathiness from your tone. There's still a little bit of breathiness, but you have made progress each week. And all you're asking your body to do is you're asking your body to use more force to close, or more pressure to close your vocal folds. And the only way for us to develop our body's ability to generate more force is to do that movement over and over again. So you haven't changed your goal. You haven't changed the way that you're doing this. But what has happened is, because you've been working on getting breathless tone and you've been working on connecting to your voice buzz, what has happened is now you're starting to actually get a connection, which is really exciting, because that voice buzz is one of our 2 techniques. Literally all we do. If you do voice buzz and then you apply your breathe, hold, and sing to your voice buzz, that automatically sets you up for success. You can't, aside from singing the wrong note, you can't mess up after that. So that's really, really great. I'm really thrilled that you're actually making real world progress on connecting your voice buzz. That's incredible. So let's keep moving on. I'm thrilled. I have no feedback. I think just continue aiming for breathless tone and then getting way lower. But I'm not hearing you push down on your throat anymore. But instead, I hear you finding that perfect relaxation, which is good because it's also going to make you sound more speech-like. Okay, let's see if we can try our light crackle high stretch. This is meant to give your chest voice the ability to go through a full range of motion all the way up to the highest point possible. The thing that makes this possible is the lack of volume. By the way, for anyone who's watching, we're currently walking through my daily vocal routine that can be found in our Singing Secrets course, and we have a 10% discount for our YouTube live viewers. I don't do any discounts for anybody except for my current students, my one-on-one students, my past students, and I do a discount for anybody watching YouTube live. I don't do any discounts for any holidays, anything like that, because I know the value of my course and I know it can change the way that you sing. So feel free to hop over to grab a discount as a thank you for watching YouTube live. That being said, in the daily vocal routine, our goal is to stretch as high as humanly possible with the correct technique. So let's jump right into our light crackle high stretch. That's gonna be hey 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 hey, super low volume and lots of crackle.
Hey, 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 hey.
Wow. Okay, so let me point out something really quickly. Um, how long have you been singing for?
3 weeks?
So sure. I mean, what, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Something that I think is really, really valuable is that you are developing a gigantic vocal range very, very early. You're setting yourself up to have the right flexibility so that as you gain the strength that you need to actually sing these high notes and low notes within your natural speaking voice, it's going to be set up already ready with all of the right muscular movements, and all you have to do is add a little bit of pressure as you go. So what I love is that you sang a very high note. You sang close to an F4 in your chest voice, but it sounded effortless. And that's how you start to build strength is you get up there correctly with the right technique and you slowly build strength over time. The only thing that I could suggest is working on getting a little bit more of that crackly tone in your voice because that's going to allow you to stay relaxed all the way up into our chest voice. And then the verbiage that I like to use is crackles turn to clear given enough pressure. And over time, within our daily vocal routine, your body will learn to generate more force and more pressure with the right muscle groups so that you can sing with complete relaxation, but have a lot of power, have a lot of tone, and have a lot of stamina. Okay, let's keep going. Beautiful job. Don't care about this right now. I do want to see if we can apply our mum sound, our voice buzz connection. I want to see if we can get to our chest voice 5 vowel stretch. That way we can apply that sound to all 5 vowels. So here's what that sounds like. Mum, 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 mum. Or I'm sorry, not mum, it's wah. Wah, 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 way, 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 way. And we're going to go through all 5 vowels. Wah, way, wee, woe, and woo. The biggest goal that I have is to keep the range small. That way we can make sure that we're connected. If we go too high, it sort of defeats the purpose because we're just trying to go from voice buzz to chest voice over and over again. So starting in voice buzz, wah wah, we want to get right up to the point where we're normally talking. So if you don't mind, can you try reading this, just like reading these directions just so you can feel what it feels like to like really relaxed, normal speech like tone on this? Can you say like breathless tone, try connecting, all that?
Breathless tone. Try connecting it to your 100% normal voice. Keep the range smaller for the first small stretch.
That's about how high we want to go at the highest note, meaning we've got to dip really, really low within our voice buzz, and then we want to come right up to that point, keep the range smaller right there, and then we come right back down, right? So we're learning to blend our chest voice and our voice buzz together so that your chest voice can produce more tone for a very low volume. We're just trying to make your chest voice more efficient. So let's try it. Let's try wah 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 way way and so on. All you.
Wah, 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 wah. Way, 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 wee, 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 wee. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, beautiful. I would check out to make sure that you can get all the way back down after. So what you did well is you I definitely am hearing less breathy tone each week. And if this is only, if this is like, some of the first couple months that you're singing here, and if you're producing breathless tone, what that means is that you are gaining vocal fold closure. You're gaining vocal efficiency. I love that. The next step is to really blend it with your normal voice both on the way up like you just did, as well as on the way back down. We have to get back to voice buzz on the way down, right? So wah wah
Whoa,
wah
whoa,
wah
whoa,
wah
whoa,
wah.
whoa, 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 whoa,
That's it.
whoa.
Woo!
Wait.
Perfect.
Wee.
Perfect. Beautiful. And so, if you do that on a daily basis, what you'll find is that you'll have more connected tone. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and just sort of do a little spoiler here. We're doing, where is it? Where's my Logic Pro? We're doing My Way by Frank Sinatra. We're going to need all of that connection to our voice buzz. And now the end is near. We've got to have all of that connection from the lowest note to the highest note, right? The end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, whenever I have that breathless tone and I'm connecting it to my voice buzz, what happens is that I make my chest voice more efficient and it sounds loud and it sounds really resonant. It sounds confident, but I'm not using very much volume. Actually, in the room, I'm actually talking louder than I just sang. So that's the goal, is to reduce the amount of physical volume you're outputting from your voice, but then increase the amount of aggression in your tone that you can actually have, that amount of piercingness or resonance or projection, right? Any of those words work. So, okay, let's keep going. I'm just spot checking a few of these. I don't think I care about this yet. I do care about this. I want to make sure the biggest thing that I want to aim for in your daily vocal routine is just connection to your voice buzz. Because if we get that, everything else falls into line. That's because we only teach 2 techniques. Literally, that's it. If you can use voice buzz and then you can lock it in with your breathe, hold, and then sing, all you have to focus on after that is singing the right note at the right time. So let's do our 5 vowel buzz builder, and we don't want to push down on our larynx. That's sounding like this when we're pushing down, but instead we just want to release and relax into it. So we want to start in our normal chest voice. This is going to be ba, be, be, bo, and boo. And I'm focusing on these exercises because these are the ones that are going to give you the most bang for your buck in your daily practice. So let's try it. It's from a low starting pitch, like ba, somewhere around there.
Ba.
Good connection.
Bay.
Incredible.
Bee. Bo. Boo.
Jim, that's the best connection that you've gotten, bar none. It's not even close. Are you like, do you feel like you're understanding how to make your throat move in order to make
Yes.
these sounds now?
Yes.
That's so awesome. What's cool is that as you get better at doing this and more consistent with doing this, your voice will eventually prefer to speak in your voice buzz, which is kind of wild. Like, what that does is it means that you're always in a state of practicing and strengthening your voice. Like, you, instead of I'm singing, it's time to turn on the switch to me using good vocal technique. What ends up happening is your voice prefers this efficiency. Our bodies prefer conserving energy, so much so to the point where you're going to actually start speaking using voice buzz because your body prefers it. And it's going to be cool because, again, it's, instead of turning it on, it's always on. You're always improving your singing voice because you're always connecting to voice buzz. So you won't even have to try. Like, that's the beautiful part. Like, you're not going to have to, like, as you do these exercises, your voice will start to feel that connection all the time. So I'm really excited for that because then you'll be at a point of constant improvement and you won't even know that you're doing it. So I'm really excited about that. I'm thrilled. Like, I mean, do you have any thoughts on how you were able to achieve your first, like, real connection to voice buzz, because that was like sublime.
Just practice. It's coming natural now. I'm getting it, and it's just the repetition of doing it. I think that's making the difference for me.
I'm thrilled. I mean, I love that because the daily vocal routine in our course, it just takes you through, but for both female and male voices, it takes you through all of these exercises. It shows you which registration to do, how much volume to use, what kind of tone to use, what kind of range to focus on. Sometimes it'll give you an extra hint. And so when you do these exercises, it just physically builds the capabilities of your voice, which is really nice, right? It helps you be able to lift more weight with your voice and have a much greater range of motion, which just equates to flexibility. Jim, I love this. I'm beyond thrilled because this is some real change in your voice that I think will positively affect your tone in the songs. Sorry, I'm super excited about that. This is the next step. I don't know how well this is going, but I do want to test this today. I have the pitch matching for chords up here, and this is a exercise that helps you first of all, match pitch, which is so important for beginning singers to work on. That is the skill. The only skill that you should really be concerned with at all is just matching pitch, making sure you're hitting the right note. And so this helps you do that. But we're going to do, I'm going to show this, but then we're going to do this live where I'm actually going to show it on the keyboard. That way you can, instead of doing it like with the clunky, Zoom delay, we can actually Sorry about that. I just realized that our audio capture went out, but hopefully I wasn't out for too long. I'm back. We were just working on the pitch matching, just to show that one more time. Let me show that what that looks like. What I did was I just sang or played a note, had Jim match it, and then we played the chord around his voice to show that. So me first, then you. Let's go. Na.
Na, na.
Beautiful. So what we just heard was he matched the note, and then he heard the chord surround his voice. That's exactly the same thing that happens with our pitch matching chords here. That way it does it for you. That way you can practice it at home. So increasing this helps your body's ability to be able to lock in with the chords when you're actually in a song. So let's jump right in. I'm really excited to see what happens on my way to see if we can make some good improvements. So let's jump in.
My vocal, my mic gain was set a little low. You might want to increase the gain on my vocal. I don't know.
No problem.
Already done it.
Yep. I've already got it about balanced with the instrumental, but yeah, thank you for mentioning that. That's a a good thing to know. If we can't hear you, then we can't give you any feedback on how to improve.
And now the end is near, and so I face
that worked.
The final curtain.
Good. So let's break this down and see if we can make some improvements. So first of all, the interval practice will help us with gauging these specific intervals within our voice, and that is also in our Singing Secrets course. You can get 10% off by clicking the link in the description. The interval that we're singing here is a major sixth, and I'm going to show you where on the keyboard that is because I think it's really going to help. So, and now that's going to be this. And now, can you sing just that, the and first?
And
a little lower, go. And then the
now.
Perfect. So that distance, we've got to feel that in our throat. So what you're currently singing.
And now.
The first note is good. The second note isn't quite high enough, right? And now, can we try that one more time? It's just live. And now, all the way up.
And now.
That's way closer. So what you just did was a big improvement. I want to show you what it would look like if we fixed this up. That way you can hear your voice singing the right note. And I'm not suggesting that we fix all of your mistakes and with pitch correction. What I'm suggesting we do is use pitch correction so that you can see how far of a distance you need to travel upwards in order to hit the note right.
And now.
We're close. We're hitting an F, should be an F sharp. So that's all the distance we need to move in order to make this work properly.
And now.
And now. Can we try that one more time?
And now.
Yeah, way closer.
The end is near.
That same thing needs to apply here. The end is near. Can we go from really low to really high? We want to go from that A. And I'll go ahead and pull up the keyboard again. The. Let's sing the.
The.
End.
End.
Is.
Is.
Much lower.
Is.
Little lower.
Is.
Tiny bit lower. Is. That's pretty close here. Try this. Go. Is. Near.
Near.
Perfect. So you can see by us slowing down these intervals and focusing on them, you're automatically fixing the pitch problems that we had here. And it's really a quick fix. So what should singers focus on? Pitch. That's pretty much it. And if you wanted to do the daily vocal routine, that way you could build some strength in the meantime, great. But if we get nothing else from today, if you can be aware of the distances between some of these intervals, that way you can improve them over the course of a week, like, oh my gosh, that would be stellar.
And so I face.
Now that one was pretty darn close. And so I face.
And so I face.
Great. I think that was quite improved. And so I face. Just a hair bit higher on the word face.
And so I face.
That's really great. So great job on that one. Now this one is where I think we're going to see a drastic improvement right away.
The final curtain.
I think we went too low. We went the final curtain rather than the final curtain. So let's take this and do one note at a time. That way you can feel the difference. So we've got the little lower.
The
Fine.
fine.
By the way, that interval is a perfect fifth, which can be found on our interval practice. Na, na, right? Doing that every day. Like, sure, we can go over this. Like, Jim and I can go over this till we're blue in the face and work on, and that will help to some extent. But I think isolating this skill of hearing the intervals and feeling them in your throat is going to help, because in a month's time you're just going to wake up and these intervals are going to make more sense because you've felt them, you've heard them, and then you've seen them over and over again, to where, like, sure, we can work on this perfect fifth right now and that will absolutely make a difference, but raising your overall skill level with intervals will make an even bigger difference over time, which I think we're already seeing you do a great job just in this lesson alone. So
It's just muscle memory, right?
yeah, just muscle memory and actual pitch memory as well. You're remembering what it sounds like, and you're muscle memory because you remember what it feels like.
The final curtain.
So instead of the final curtain, instead of that we want the final curtain. Can we try that in with breaking it down one note at a time? So let's do the
fine.
Good. A little bit higher. Fine.
Fine.
No cur.
No cur.
Good. It's now this one is just a major second away. It's a shorter distance. So final cur. Good. One more time. Just aim really high on the null and cur of final curtain. Me first, then you. It'll be final cur. Can we try that?
Fine. No.
Yes. That's it. So let's do curtain. It's a tiny distance. This is a half step or a minor second, meaning it's only a half step away. So curtain. One more time. Curtain. Now 10 has to be lower. One more time. Me first, then you. So let's do cur. Little higher. Here, try to see if you can scoop up and find this note. Curtain. Yeah, much closer. So if you put that all together, instead of
the final curtain,
what you're going to get is the final curtain. Now, I didn't sing it with a lot of style. I didn't sing it with a lot of like tone or anything like that. All I did was I changed the pitch. And so that brings us back to our singer distinctions. Here, Jim, I actually think you had a really great tone. I think you had great volume. I think your diction, meaning how you pronounce the words, was perfect. It sounded relaxed and speech-like. You were using the right registration, and your rhythm seemed to be right along with the track. So really, if we're talking about like your overall correctness, you had a lot of things correct. The only thing that we need to focus on adjusting is your pitch. So it sounds like, man, that just isn't the way that I necessarily want it quite yet. But that's only because one element of your singing or one singer distinction needs to be adjusted. Once you adjust that one thing, the rest of it will sound great, which is really nice. And that's why we have the singer distinctions. Instead of just saying, oh, that was not good, or oh, that was terrible, or whatever. We can start to break down the things that we need to fix, and then we can focus on making the targeted adjustment. So let's keep going. This is great.
My friend.
Oh, good for you on singing my friend. You got all the way up to that higher note.
My friend.
Now the my was a little bit too low, but that's okay. That's not too bad. I think the fact that you were able to gauge that distance and get all the way up for friend is really good.
I'll say it clear.
Wow, you're singing the right notes now. I'll say it clear.
I'll state my case.
Now we got a little bit too low on this. Let's do I'll state my case, or I'll state my case. Let's try that. State my case up high. Here, let me bring up the keyboard. I'll state my case.
I'll state my case.
Tiny bit lower. State my case.
State my case.
Nicely done.
I'll state my case.
Case of which
I'm certain.
Now this one, we were just simply too low on the pitch. So let's do of which I'm certain. We're going to break that down note by note so that you can get practice singing the right note. So I'll state my case. Of which. Let's sing that of which.
Of which.
Cool. Perfect. Literally perfect. I'm certain. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. That was the perfect adjustment. So over time, the more that you can really focus on hitting these intervals and these pitches really well and then blending to the chord, like that would just make your voice sound good right out of the gate because your tone is pretty good already. I don't mind your tone whatsoever. I think the volume you're using is really nice. You're not yelling or getting super quiet based on your range. Everything is going well. It's literally just, we're just going to adjust the pitches and that's going to make a huge, huge improvement.
I've lived.
We're close because we're going higher, but it's not quite high enough.
I've lived a life that's full.
It's very close. So let's go. I've lived.
I've lived.
And let's get real high on that lift. I've lived.
I've lived.
There you go. And then a life that's full is going to be very small steps. So if you can focus on making the first jump big, I've lived. That's a perfect fifth.
I've lived.
Good for you. A life that's full.
A life that's full.
Good for you, Jim.
A life that's full.
Do you know that interval, by the way?
A half step.
That's right, a half step, which is going to be the first interval that we hit on our, where is it? Our interval practice. Let me bring that up because we have a half step right away, like right out of the gate. That's the first thing we do is a half step. So you get to hear it.
Na na. Sing with
and
me.
then you'd get to sing it along with me.
Na na. Sing with piano.
Then of course you'd get to sing it with piano.
Sing
And then the
alone.
last time you could sing it alone. Na na. That way you could kind of gradually take the training wheels off as you went. That way it's easier to do in the real song. So I've lived a life that's full. Can we try that kind of separately? And you don't have to worry about your tone. We're just focusing on the pitch. Let's sing it one note by note. Let's get a little lower. I've
lived.
A little higher on the live. There it is.
Lived.
I've
lived
a life
that's
full.
full.
Okay, let's go one more.
Lived a life that's full.
That was way closer, especially at the end. A life that's full. Good for you, Jim.
A life that's full.
A life. I traveled each and every highway.
We're so close because I can hear that you hear the sort of shape or the contour of the melody. Highway. We're doing a great job with that. Now we just have to get it nailed down with the exact right intervals with our voice. So here's what that sounds like.
I've traveled
each and every highway. So I'll show you that on the piano just so you can see it. I've traveled each. Can we break that down one note at a time? There it is. Let's get a little higher. Go. I've then trav. Vold. A little higher on vold. Go vold. Each. There it is. So take a listen to the whole thing. I've traveled each. Try that.
I've traveled each.
Much better because we're now on the right part of the chord. So take a listen to what we did.
I traveled each.
Instead, we're going to get I've traveled each. Right? It's a big difference. Like what you did is great in many aspects, but if we just fix like literally the pitch and the pitch alone, it's going to make a massive difference.
And every highway.
And more, much more than this. I did it
my
way. So you can hear that you're even blending with the chord on the word way. Way, but it should be the next note up in the chord. My way. Do you know this interval?
Full step.
Yeah, a full step or a major second. It sounds like happy birthday.
Major second.
Happy birthday, I did it my way.
Way.
That's right. So let's try this. I did it my way. One note at a time. Give it a shot on that low note. Let's go significantly lower. Let's go. I did
it
my. And then no, you were right on on it. Let's head to the next word. My. We're a little too high. Try my way. Beautiful. So if you can make these small little changes in your music by really focusing on layering down the right pitch, it's going to make a huge difference. So one way that you can do that, you can tell me if you're already doing this or not, but are you singing it with the original turned on by chance?
I do both.
I would
do both.
I would love to see what would happen if you only recorded with the original for this next week. I would love to
only
see
recorded with the original, not the instrumental, or just his voice.
I would do.
Voice?
I would keep the instrumental on, but then like leave his instrumental on while you record. So
okay, gotcha.
And now the end is near. That way you can match his pitch, and you don't have to bother with finding the pitch on your own. Although that will get easier because you're learning how to match pitch not with another singer, but rather with the chords that are being played by the instrumental. Like that's the skill that we're going to improve. And the other thing that's going to improve is your ability to gauge the distance between the chords because we're improving your intervals. So if you combine those two skills, yeah, it's going to help. But for right now, I'd love to see how accurate your pitch could be if you recorded this. Just like a verse to chorus is fine. That's all we need. I would love to see if you could just shoot me the an MP3 of you singing along with the original. I would love to see how much more accurate you are just by that one change alone. So what I'm suggesting is ride for a little bit with the training wheels. Like whenever you sing, always sing with the original artist's voice on so that you can get used to feeling your voice matching with theirs. And what we'll do is as you get confident on that, we can take the training wheels off. And I think that's going to make a huge difference because right now the issue is not that you're singing with weak tone or not that you're singing with the wrong registration or you're singing off rhythm. That's not the problem. The only thing that we're really having to make some adjustments on are our pitch, which when we isolate it, when I can show you each note one by one, you do flawlessly on. So the other thing I was going to mention is why don't I actually like make you a little piano track? Do you want me to make you a piano track of the melody? Would that help you? Or do you just want to try with the original? Okay, let's try that. I'll give it a shot and see if I can play it decently. I guess I've never actually played this on the piano, but you know what? It's fine. We'll I think we can make this work really well to where you'll have a nice resource where you can actually hear the piano and you can try matching it. Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to help me.
Yeah, I think I flubbed one rhythm at one point, but actually the rhythm doesn't matter. All that matters is the pitch. So what's important, and by the way, the way that I did that is not that I'm some sort of mind reading virtuosic pianist. It's literally that I can tell the intervals of the notes that are in the song, and I can judge them against the key itself of the song, and then I can find my way using those intervals to say, okay, I think this is going to be a major sixth here, and then I'm going to walk down a major second. I've never done that actually in my I think my entire life that was my first shot at that. So I'm sorry for the rhythm mistake that I made, but I just wasn't confident I was going to hit the right note. And I was like, oh no, it was right, it's right. So, but yeah, I mean this is what interval practice gets you down the road, is that you'll be able to see the notes so well that you might even be able to play it on a different instrument, because every song that you ever sing or play is made up of intervals. So if you can see, hear, and feel those intervals just like we have them in our Singing Secrets course, then of course you're going to be able to do the song more accurately. So I will bounce this out at the end of our session here and send it once I get off of YouTube Live. I'll send that over to you. That way you can have this as a resource. And so that you can practice along with it. I think the other nice part is that I went out of my way to play it really smooth, and I didn't make a lot of quick rhythms or anything like that. So I think that'll be easier for you to blend with, because you have more time to blend with it compared to the original. It's a little bit more choppy in the phrasing. And now the end is near, and so I face. It's very speech like, which I love. It sounds great, but it's it's very hard to match your pitch with somebody who is constantly turning on and off their voice to match pitch with, right? So if you have a longer phrase, it's going to be easier to do that with. So that's my first thought. The second thing that I would love to do is if you can, instead of recording this one, can we record? Record the lead vocal with, I want to do 2 lead vocals, one with the piano, and then one with the original singer, good old Frank. Not that I'm on a first name basis. One with the original vocalist or singer. And then, yeah, we want to focus on blending the pitch exactly with the original, making adjustments in real time. If you hear that you're too low, try to see if you can make your voice go a little bit higher to adjust. If you hear that you're too high, do vice versa. But the important thing is not that you get 100% accuracy. The important thing is that you start recognizing, oh, wait a minute, I don't think I'm matching the piano or Frank exactly. So let me see if I can make an adjustment. Even if you make the wrong adjustment, who cares? It's your body and your ear and your throat's way of searching for the right note. Because what will happen is that over time you'll get an increased efficiency at finding the right note, because you're trying different things. Because I know that once you hit the right note, I know that you're like, oh yeah, that's it, right? Like you're pretty confident that you, once you have it, it's easy to lock in. So we want to find a way for your voice to get on the right set of train tracks right away, and that will just come with time and repetition, that's a good thing, because it means that it's not knowledge that you don't have. It's just that we need your body to be so comfortable with snapping to the right note when it hears that it's wrong, that you can, instead of making a mistake, all you're doing is just scooping up or scooping down to the right note. As soon as you hear that it's too high, just make a super quick adjustment to see if you can find it. Now, the easier thing to do, instead of finding it with the chords, you can find it with the original or with the piano. And I think that's going to really make things easier. What questions do you currently have? And I know we have Sound of Silence on the back burner right now, but what questions do you currently have?
I haven't even recorded that. We'll do that.
Totally
next.
good.
I don't have any questions, actually.
Okay. This is looking really good. The thing that I'm really impressed with, Jim, is that you now are getting some real voice buzz, which is going to radically change your tone in a very healthy and positive way. And I love that not only are we getting connection, but you're now getting connection on all 5 vowels. So this is really good, because it's going to pretty quickly strengthen your voice, because you're now doing the movement correctly. You're making your muscles generate force, and that's how you get stronger, is by progressively generating just a little bit more force. And what does that look like? It means that your tone is just a little bit less breathy each week. So instead of, hey Zach, how you doing? Eventually it'll be, hey Zach, how you doing? Eventually it'll be, hey Zach, how you doing? And lastly it'll be, hey Zach, how you doing? Where there won't be any breath. So we're looking not for you to do it perfectly, but rather that your voice is slowly removing the breathiness and the excess breathiness from your voice, because it is generating enough force to where it's the thumb over the water hose analogy that I made. It's not escaping or leaking out. Rather, you're just shooting your voice out. So that looks good. I'm really, really excited for that. We're going to continue doing our pitch practice. I think pitch pattern 1 is probably fine. You're welcome to try a different one. Actually, you know what? We'll just do a different one. I have several other pitched practice kind of patterns to work for both for male and female voices. And so by doing these, they're going to help you start to hear and apply your vocal technique to different areas of your voice and different pitch ranges, but on the same pattern. So I'll show you what pitch pattern 2 sounds like for the male singer, just to give you a heads up. It's only 40 something seconds, by the way. And it progressively gets higher. So it's going to help your voice start to get comfortable with matching pitch in different ranges, which is important because if you're really good at matching pitch right where you're most comfortable talking, that's not necessarily a huge win. But if you start to branch that out and you get comfortable with matching pitch maybe in higher and lower ranges, that's going to definitely make you sing better in the songs, because songs don't just sit in like a 3-note range, right? But anyway, or at least most songs. Maybe some songs do. But anyway, I digress. Thank you so incredibly much, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will, of course, send over that resource for you. That way you can practice right alongside the piano with your notes highlighted. And you said did you say you had any questions?
Nope. I'll just say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'll see you in the new year.
Yes, sir. That sounds wonderful. Thank you so incredibly much, and we'll see you very soon. See you, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Okay, great. Hi, YouTube. Let me see if I can take out Jim's window, and then YouTube, I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about something that you saw in today's lesson, Jim is a beginner singer, but I think he's making some really radical and very quick improvements. As he mentioned, he's just started singing like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, he's making some pretty quick improvements, and I'm really proud of him. So I wanted to mention, I'm here to talk if you want to talk about something that I said, about something that maybe you want to ask for clarification on. I'm here to answer questions. I got to send this over to Jim, but I'll do that in just a little bit here. But I want to open up the floor to anyone watching live, or if you're watching this after the fact, love to ask if you have any questions at that point as well. So I'll wait for just a couple other minutes or a couple more seconds here, and then what I'll do is I'll respond to any comments that come after this sometime later on tonight through the YouTube Studio app. Great. Well, hey, thank you so incredibly much. I've appreciated having a great day of streaming all 4 of my lessons today. I hope you all have an amazing night, and we'll catch you soon. Thanks.